Saturday night, a cheating accusation was made by another team against Park River Babe Ruth during a North Dakota Class B state Babe Ruth baseball game. Park River went to Facebook to address these claims, saying play was stopped in the top of the sixth inning as they took on the opposing team. The accusations of cheating came from another team, not the team they had been playing, according to Park River. Park River stated that the team claimed they were using players they could not roster. Following the suspension of the game, Park River had a meeting with tournament officials that night, and that they had to eliminate the 3 players if they wanted to continue playing in the tournament. Park River ended up not having to forfeit and played Sunday at 11 a.m.